Okay, so we're gonna make a brown sugar shaken espresso cupcake inspired by Starbucks and also inspired by a Instagram handle called Tbsp. I'm hoping that it'll turn out just as good with a few modifications. I'm super excited to make these. It's my mom's birthday this weekend. I'm gonna bring them down there. And I'm also gonna introduce myself. I'm Kate. I am actually a licensed therapist, and I am making this channel in hopes of being able to shed some awareness on mental health issues, as well as help people see therapy doesn't have to be this scary. So we're gonna make up some cupcakes and chat about mental health in general, and that means my butter's melted, so let's go. So first off, in this recipe, we have a stick of melted butter. So I'm gonna do melted butter and 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar and then 1/4 cup of regular sugar. And I'm gonna put them in my mixer and mix them together. I'm gonna add in the rest of the wet ingredients, which are 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of oat milk, and a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now I'm gonna alternate the flour, which is 2 cups of cake flour, with a 1 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I just realized I forgot the vanilla, a teaspoon of vanilla. I have really bad ADHD, so we'll see if these even turn out. A quick ADHD tip: when you run out of things in your kitchen, take these empties and then go write them on a list or put them in your phone, or however you track the things that you need. Phone's probably the fastest. But I just ran out of brown sugar, cinnamon, and vanilla extract, so I'm gonna go write those down right now. Okay, so one of the things as a therapist that I find is that people are often really ashamed of having mental health conditions. They're really ashamed to come see a therapist often. They often feel like, their problems aren't that bad or they should be over them. And I think that that's a really common misconception that I really want to dispel. I actually am recovered from an eating disorder and struggle with ADHD, and also have dealt with substance abuse as well as depression and anxiety. So I definitely have had the gamut of diagnoses throughout the years. And I think that one thing that I've really learned is that people with mental health conditions are what I would call the canaries in the coal mine. So I learned this, actually, it's something that I learned from Carolyn Costin in her book, The 8 Keys, that back in the day when coal mines were a thing, they would send canaries down into the coal mines and to see if there was enough air in them in the coal mine for people to breathe. So they would send the canaries down, and if the canaries came back out, then they would know, okay, cool, there's enough air, like send people down there. If there wasn't enough air in there, they would know, okay, it's not safe. I think that people with mental health conditions tend to be the people that are the canaries in the coal mine. They're in this society that is incredibly toxic in so many ways, that we're all workaholics and perfectionistic and go, and don't really take time to live life, enjoy life, and also are constantly gaslighting ourselves. I should be over this by now, or I shouldn't be worried about that. So this is something that I think people with mental health conditions really are picking up on, this toxic environment, and it's showing up as depression, as anxiety especially nowadays. And I think that instead of looking at people with mental health conditions as sick or as problematic, I think that we're probably more of the norm than people without mental health conditions at this point. And I think if we can all identify these issues in ourselves and relate and talk about them, I think that it will be much less stigmatizing in the future moving forward. So let's put some of these, let's put the batter into the cupcake tin. This is supposed to make about 12 cupcakes, and we'll throw them in the oven. I have it set for 350 degrees. I don't actually know the time that it's set on the recipe, but I'm gonna assume like 20 minutes is probably fine. And my oven is, this house is a 90s relic, so the oven's probably gonna take an extra 5 minutes or so. So 20, 25 minutes, something like that. Do that. So in my work as an eating disorder specialist, like I said, I'm recovering from my own eating disorder, and in my own quest to find support, I found and realized that there wasn't a lot of support, and the support that there was a lot of times like really well-intentioned, but not necessarily understanding of what I was going through. A psychiatrist at the time, when I was a teenager, just told me like, okay, every time you come to see me, just go across the street to Dairy Queen and grab something from Dairy Queen, like that will be your treatment. And I just remember looking at him, shocked, thinking to myself, if I could go to Dairy Queen and eat normally, I wouldn't be here paying you. So I think that this is such a misconception that people don't understand, especially eating disorders. And as a mental health clinician and as someone with a master's degree, I didn't have one class about eating disorders. All of my knowledge about eating disorders, I've had to go out and get extracurricular support and extra training. And obviously my own experience was paramount in understanding this experience. And so I think a lot of times that we expect that therapists and mental health professionals will understand all mental health conditions, but it's really important to find specialized care. So if you're dealing with something that is a little bit more niche, like substance abuse or eating disorders or specific type of OCD, it's really important to find people that specialize in those things, because we don't learn it all. Yeah, I can diagnose you, I can point it out, I can see the signs, I can see the trends, but I'm not necessarily an expert in all of those areas, and that's something really important. So if you're seeking support, make sure that you're finding specialized care. Otherwise, you're gonna end up going to someone that doesn't really know what they're talking about. They might invalidate your experience, and it might really put a bad taste in your mouth. I've met so many people that won't go back to therapy because of negative past experiences in therapy, and that breaks my heart. I think that by going through my own experience and having that provider really not understand what I was going through motivated me to want to help other people, motivated me to want to tell my story. Because if I have this story, think about how many other people have this story. And if I'm talking about it, unlike so many other people, maybe other people can get that from me. Maybe they could say, hey, I kind of relate to that, and feel like, okay, I can do this. She can do this, I can do this too. So that, in a really long-winded statement, is kind of it in a nutshell for me. And I'm hoping that by making these videos, I can help people understand a little bit more about eating disorders, especially. That's definitely my passion, but just mental health in general, and just like being a human in general, for sure. So if you are into baked goods or you are into mental health, or you want to learn more about mental health, please like and subscribe this video, subscribe to this channel, and hopefully we will be covering topics that are helpful to you and to people in your life. If there's anything that you want to see from this video, obviously this is a new channel, feel free to comment any ideas or questions below that you have about mental health or eating disorders specifically. Hit me up and I will definitely answer those questions in future videos. I'm also going to try to make most of these baking things seasonal. So if you're looking to make a recipe over the holidays, or you really want something autumnal in the fall, or summery in the summer, stop by. I got you covered. Also in these videos, I'm hoping to bring out baking. I think that that is just a great way to kind of like chat, get to know one another. But I'm also really into creative pursuits as well. So you might see these videos going into some crafting or some artwork, and we'll kind of see how they go as we go. And some people might say, okay, why baked goods? baked goods, because all foods are okay. Cupcakes are not bad. It's the behavior that we have with cupcakes. But if you put cupcakes on a pedestal and you're obsessing about cupcakes all the time, that's the problem, not the cupcakes itself. All foods fit in moderation, in a healthy lifestyle. Cupcakes themselves are not a problem. And I want to make sure everyone understands that and we're all on the same page. So you will see me making these things, eating these things, enjoying these things, sharing these things with you and everyone around. Okay, so for the icing, we're gonna do a stick of butter. We're gonna melt it in the toaster oven. I actually don't have a microwave. If you have a microwave, use it. It'll be way faster. Okay, so for the espresso portion of this recipe, we're gonna use coffee because that's all I have, and I did not have the time to go out and get espresso, instant espresso. So this is instant coffee. I'm doing a tablespoon of it. And this recipe doesn't actually call for it, but I'm gonna put a tablespoon of hot water with this and mix it up just so it doesn't like just have the grinds in the icing, because that'll be gross. I'm not sure exactly what the recipe called for, but it said milk, but I'm gonna use hot water just so it dissolves. Okay, and then I'm just gonna mix it up. Okay, so we're gonna take the stick of melted, oh my god, there's a fly in here. Melted / softened butter, and put it in with some powdered sugar. I really don't know how much powdered sugar. I'm just gonna kind of wing it, and I'll let you know when it gets the right consistency about how much powdered sugar I put in. And then if you're a baker, you'll know that just powdered sugar comes in weird increments, and I always have like bizarre bits of powdered sugar. So this looks like about half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. So I'll put that in first and see how it goes. I'm gonna say about another cup is necessary. And like, how you know is, see how it's like really yellow still? We want it to be really beautiful and like a white creamy icing vibe. And then we're gonna put the espresso in it, and that'll obviously change the color. Another weird bit, powdered sugar. About a cup. I'm just gonna put a pinch of salt in there, and then the espresso. Okay, so this is the beautiful espresso color vibe that I was looking for. I usually would put it in a pastry bag. I don't have any pastry bags right now, so I'm gonna just put it, and I don't have any big Ziplocs, they're better than these little ones, but I'm just gonna put them in here, and then I'm gonna cut off the end and pipe them onto the cupcakes when the cupcakes are good and cooled off. Okay, we just got them out of the oven, 25 minutes with my wonky oven, so 20 minutes is probably fine for anyone who has a normal oven, but these are beautiful. And a tip for cupcakes, you want them to just like bounce back a little when you push on them. So we're gonna let these cool completely and then we're gonna ice them. So I'm gonna do this, go work for a while, we'll ice them later. Okay, here you have it. This is the, what the heck is it called? Brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso cupcake. Let's do it. It's really good. Vanilla in the cupcake, the cinnamon, the coffee, really does taste like the drink, and that drink is actually one of my favorite Starbucks drinks. So if you're a fan, definitely try these out. They're delicious. And come back for more videos like this and more chats about mental health.